Why do people judge books by their covers? Don't judge a book by its cover is perhaps the most famous piece of advice that humanity collectively ignores. Despite centuries of cultural warnings against superficiality, the human brain is evolutionarily hardwired to do the exact opposite. In the modern world, this phenomenon is no longer just a metaphor for social prejudice, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry. From the high-gloss jackets in a bookstore to the hero images on a Netflix menu, our reality is curated for a brain that makes life-altering decisions in milliseconds. To understand why we judge books by their covers, we must look at the intersection of evolutionary biology, cognitive psychology, and neuroscience. 1. The evolutionary mandate, survival of the fastest. The tendency to judge based on appearance is not a moral failing, it is a biological survival mechanism. For our ancestors, the cost of a false positive, thinking a harmless berry was poisonous, was much lower than the cost of a false negative, thinking a predator was a friendly animal. The amygdala and rapid assessment. When you look at a book cover or a person's face, the information travels to the amygdala before it even reaches the conscious parts of your brain. The amygdala is the brain's threat detector. It processes visual stimuli in approximately 100 milliseconds. Friend or foe. In the wild, humans had to instantly categorize others. A cover, facial expression, posture, colors, told the observer whether to fight, flee, or mate. Cognitive load. The world provides more data than the brain can process. To prevent analysis paralysis, the brain uses heuristics, mental shortcuts that allow us to make good enough decisions quickly. A book cover is a heuristic for the quality of the content inside. 2. The psychology of the halo effect. In 1920, psychologist Edward Thorndike coined the term the halo effect. This is a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person or object influences how we feel and think about their character or properties in unrelated areas. How it works in publishing. If a book has a beautiful, professional, and aesthetically pleasing cover, the halo effect causes our brains to subconsciously attribute other positive qualities to it. Credibility. If the cover is high quality, the writing must be high quality. Intelligence. This looks like a sophisticated design. The ideas inside must be profound. Trust. The publisher invested money in this, therefore it is a safe bet for my time. Conversely, a cheap or amateur cover triggers the horns effect, where a single negative trait, like bad typography or a pixelated image, leads us to assume the prose is equally sloppy. The neuroscience of aesthetics. Recent studies using magnetoencephalography, MEG, have shown that when we perceive something as beautiful, the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for complex valuation and decision-making, is selectively activated. The reward pathway. Viewing an attractive book cover triggers a release of dopamine. This creates a reward sensation before the reader has even opened the first page. Designers use specific elements to hijack this system. Symmetry. Humans are naturally drawn to symmetrical patterns as they signal health and order. Color theory. Red triggers urgency and passion, thrillers. Blue evokes calm and trust, nonfiction/memoirs. Yellow suggests creativity and energy. Typography. Serif fonts, like Times New Roman, suggest tradition and authority, while sans serif fonts, like Arial, suggest modernity and minimalism. 4. Genre signals and predictive processing. The brain is a prediction engine. It doesn't just see the world, it constantly guesses what it is seeing based on past experiences. This is why genre conventions are so powerful. Genre, visual cues, the cover, brain's expectation. Romance, pastel colors, cursive fonts, silhouettes of couples. Emotional satisfaction, light reading. Sci-fi, high contrast, black/neon, futuristic architecture, complex world building, technology. True crime,
grainy photos, bold red/black text, classified textures, danger, mystery, investigation. When a cover deviates too far from these signals, the brain experiences cognitive dissonance. If a gritty murder mystery has a cover featuring pink cupcakes, the brain becomes confused. Most consumers will not solve the confusion by reading the book. They will simply put it back on the shelf. The digital shift, the thumbnail economy. In the age of Amazon and Kindle, the cover has shrunk to the size of a postage stamp. This has intensified our judgmental behavior. The 2-second rule. In a physical bookstore, you might browse for minutes. On a screen, you decide to click or scroll past in under 2 seconds. Micro-judgments. We now judge covers based on metadata, the star rating, the number of reviews, and the bestseller badge. These are the digital equivalents of a gold-embossed title. Conclusion. We judge books by their covers because we are biological machines designed for efficiency, not fairness. Our brains prioritize speed over accuracy to navigate a world of infinite choices. While the old adage warns us that the cover is not the content, our neurology tells us that the cover is the gateway to the content. Without a compelling front, the inside remains forever invisible.